Yeah. Hello. Thank you very much for sending me the invitation in order to speak today. So welcome to all of you, especially Constanza and Professor Sergi Pars. And also, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome Dr. Khaled Amrouni. He is the first author of this work that has been done in 2015. You're welcome, Dr. Khaled, if you are Dr. Khaled with us today.
Thank you, Salah. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. You are welcome, Doctor. It's my pleasure to have you today. Yeah. So we will talk today briefly about a very important subject. Which is called reservoir-analogue, a case study from Northeast Libya from Cyrenaican. In fact, this study has been done in order to understand the rock properties from outcrop for further exploration work or for further exploration studies to evaluate any area in terms of oil exploration. So the outcrop work is very important. And in the same time, in order to predict the petroleum system elements from outcrops, using some tools or many tools. So 5 tools have been used in order to end up this work. We have used sedimentology for depositional environments, and we have used sequence stratigraphy in order to deduce the vertical and lateral relationship of the facies or the facies. We have used the carbon stable isotope analysis in order or for correlation and for organic productivity. We have used also geophysical method, which is called handheld gamma ray, in order or for we have used it for correlation. We also have used diagenesis in order to understand the constructive and destructive stages of porosity. So based upon the diagenesis, also you can understand the porosity in terms of reservoir identification, the reservoir quality. So before we go through, or before we start talking about the subject, many people I think from Argentina, they are not Libya very closely. So Libya is a country located in North Africa, and bounded by Egypt to the east, to the Tunisia to the west, to the Chad and Niger to the south, and Mediterranean Sea to the north. It has a number of sedimentary basins. You can see them distributed along this map. And the study area located here in Cyrenaica platform, close to the close to the Mediterranean. Yeah. The data, or the kind of data we have used to do this work: 29 detailed stratigraphic sections, 500 samples and thin sections, 14 handheld gamma ray, and 4 carbon isotope data. The main or outcome and main point to discuss: sedimentology, sequence stratigraphy, reservoir-analogue facies, including thickness, lateral continuity, and all the reservoir parameters from the outcrop. And we try to predict the petroleum system from the studied outcrop based upon the data, the given data, based upon the techniques that have been used. So sedimentology and depositional environments. In fact, the Ar-Rajmah Group, which is it is Asian Miocene deposited on gently sloping ground and include 9 carbonate facies and 2 silicic facies. So most of the succession or stratigraphic successions are carbonates. So we characterize it by carbonate succession. mostly Cyrenaica platform characterized by carbonate, and include three different, you see here the peritidal facies, ram crest facies, subtidal facies. We can discuss them next in the detailed sequence stratigraphic framework. Here, in general, stratigraphic chart of northern Cyrenaica, you see the succession the exposure in succession. It's starting from late Cretaceous to late Miocene, or to Quaternary. Yeah. And here in Miocene, our study focusing on this age, or in this time. Tectonic setting of Cyrenaica platform. You see here the Jurassic hinge line separated between Jabal al-Akhdar to the north and Cyrenaica platform to the south. So to correlate the sequence stratigraphic or to correlate the Cyrenaican Miocene rock units, the stratigraphic datum was selected based upon or at the base of maximum flooding zone, which has high carbon excursion and high gamma ray. Then the studied curves were tied with the gamma ray and isotope profiles to understand the regional or the sequence stratigraphy of the study area. Here you see the sequence stratigraphic framework of the Cyrenaican Miocene. So in this cross-section, has in fact or roughly have been constructed from north to south, where the datum was selected at the base of maximum flooding zones. And here, by different colors, you see, or each color represents a type of facies. For instance, the yellowish color here represents the oolitic grainstone facies. The other colors represents the evaporite facies, microbials, reworked algae. So each facies has a color. Also, you see here you see here the red color, the high carbon excursion. You see here the high carbon excursion measuring by carbon stable isotope, as we said at the first time of our talk. The high carbon excursion, this confirms the global event, which is known Monterey event. And we know Monterey event is a formation or source rock formation in California. This formation confirmed, or this event, Monterey event, also has been confirmed in different localities around the globe. And this is why the scientists call this a global, classified as a global event. So confirmed in Malta, in Italy, in Spain, and also Japan, and here in our study area. The high carbon excursion indicates to high carbon, means high productivity of organic matter. This reflects to presence a kind of, or a source rock. But the source rock, you have to look for it in the deep marine, and you have to evaluate it in order to understand its maturity level, its corrosion type, and all other source rock parameters to evaluate it. So after that, you see here the black color represents the gamma ray. You see here a high gamma ray measured by handheld gamma ray. So in this age, Middle Miocene. Here, this age, early Miocene, and above the late Miocene. Why we say middle? Because high carbon excursion, it's a global event, indicates to a Middle Miocene. So Here you see thickness, lateral continuity, and porosity of each facies. For instance, oolitic grainstone has maximum thickness of 27 meter and extend laterally 135. Also, the coralline red algae, maximum thickness 30 meter and has laterally along more than 80 kilometer. So we have lateral, or we have good lateral extension. So microbial facies also, and the average of porosity of these fractured and leached facies is around 20%. And the accumulative vertical thickness is more than 60 meters. In this picture, you see different types of secondary porosity: A, B, C, D, E, F. Oomoldic porosity, biomoldic porosity, fenestral porosity, fracture, you see fracture porosity, frame growth porosity, and biomoldic porosity in forams in the coralline red algal facies. Here, the Middle Miocene carbon curves, the global curves and local curve in the Cyrenaica platform, which is our study area. You see here the global curve from this is the main curve measured by or studied by Zakos, and this is from Indian Ocean, and this is Cyrenaica, our study area, and the rest the Western Mediterranean countries like Italy, Malta. So you see here the pinkish color represents the high carbon excursion, which is known, or which indicates to high productivity, or which is known to or which indicates to Middle Miocene, and this is a global event, as we said. Measured, you see here the detailed A1 measured section. The most important thing here, you see the porosity curve. So, as we said, in the Middle Miocene, we have a high carbon excursion to look for source rocks, or to indicate for organic productivity. Gamma ray to high gamma ray, it is very good also for identifying the petroleum system and for oil exploration, and also high porosity zones also in Middle Miocene. So all of these things can prove the Middle Miocene as a good time to study it in terms of oil exploration next. Here you see an example from Zohar discovery neighboring Mediterranean or neighboring basin in Egypt. The type of source rock there is biogenic gas in Miocene source rock, topped by Messinian evaporites, and as you may aware, Messinian crisis covered most of the Mediterranean basins at that time of late Miocene. It is very good seal for hydrocarbon reservoirs. And you see here the Miocene carbonate buildup reservoir. Here is we see it as a Miocene, but the last studies have been done by NI confirmed the type of this reservoir is a Cretaceous reservoir. So the most important thing here, the source rock is a Miocene, as we evaluated preliminary in our Cyrenaican Miocene outcrop. So this is, or let me to conclude this briefly presentation. We have the Ar-Rajmah Group divided to a ramp system and subtidal coralline red algae, and peritidal restricted microbial facies. So 3 types of rocks have been identified, and it could be a good reservoirs, oolitic grainstone, microbial facies, and oolitic grainstone, microbial facies, and coralline red algae. Ar-Rajmah Group sequence contains 3 phases, as we said, that characterized by fractures, vertical thickness, lateral continuity, and high porosity. And also regarding the diagenesis, the highest average of porosity occurred within the Middle Miocene, also a constructive stages, not destructive, which is characterized by dissolution and fracturing, while the late Miocene has the lowest average of porosity due to the cementation. These criteria make the Cyrenaican Miocene facies good analogues to study for subsurface complete reservoirs. And also potential source rock indicated by high carbon presence in Middle Miocene section needs to be maturity proved, as we said, and pathway of migration can be internal within Miocene or external out of Miocene rocks. Thank you for your listening, and you are welcome if you have any questions. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Salah, for the presentation, for this very interesting presentation. Let me check if there is any question on the chat panel. So no, we don't have any right now, any question so far. So if anyone has any question, please, you can write it, or then you can just open your microphone and then you can ask. If you need translation, let me know. In case that someone has a question in Spanish, then I can translate to English, or he can do it, she can do it in English as well. ¿Alguna pregunta?
If no question, I can add a note. Yeah. If no questions, I can add additional note regarding the Miocene in Mediterranean.
Okay, let's wait to see if there is any question from the.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I have one then. So what about do you have a, so the study showed, I mean, that you have a successful petroleum system, a working petroleum system, huh? You have identified the source rock, you have identified the reservoir and the seal. So you have a full functioning petroleum system. So it's any plan already, I mean, to go and drill any well? I mean, is any proposal, I mean, already done, or that is going beyond the study, I mean, the aim of the study?
This is a very nice question. The first thing, the proved petroleum systems in Cyrenaica or I can say offshore Sirte, Cretaceous petroleum system and Eocene petroleum system. But no one touched Miocene unless this study, or except this study has been done by Amrouni et al. And proud to be one of the main authors of this study. We did this in order to make a preliminary evaluation. We cannot confirm the petroleum system unless we have, and the next step, we have subsurface data, previous drilled wells to tie them with seismic that passing through the area in order to have the clear picture of the petroleum system, and also to correlate surface to subsurface. It is a very important step also. Right. But now we cannot confirm petroleum system. This is or a preliminary study to evaluate it in general, to have an idea about what we have in Miocene succession in Cyrenaica, especially in Middle Miocene.
Right. Do you have any? You said that yeah, I know that you need to have, I mean, in order to correlate, you need seismic. So is any seismic in the area, or 2D seismic, 3D seismic?
Yeah, in fact, in 2014, a geophysical company or US company, ION, they have passed a 2D regional seismic survey passing through Libya. Right. This, yeah, if we have this data,
Salah? I think the connection. All right, let's see. Let's wait a minute. I think he lost connection again.
Yes, we lost him again.
All right. So I don't know if Dr. Khaled Amrouni, since I think you participated on the study as well.
Yes, hello. I'm the first author.
All right. Welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah.
Thank you very much for sharing your time.
Always connecting. Yeah, he's always connecting the sedimentological and stratigraphic parts with the petroleum exploration. And when I started this study, was the main goal to make like sedimentological, sequence stratigraphic, and diagenetic analysis. And then we added the stable isotopes and gamma ray handhelds and telemeters to do a better job in the sequence stratigraphy. And Salah took it a step further to tie it up with the exploration and subsurface data. I was mainly avoiding the subsurface data because it was really hard to get a release of data, to get your hands on the data, right, like seismic logging. So I went to the outcrops and then we made this preliminary study to prove there's potential in the Miocene from the outcrops, and all what we need just to go the next step and correlate what we have on the surface to the subsurface. And the results were really promising in the middle, especially Middle Miocene, shows a positive excursion of the stable isotope, carbon stable isotope, which indicates high organic concentration,
right?
High porosity. We have good fractures, like really fractured zones. So basically constructive porosity stages. Besides that, we have good seal. We have the Mycenian evaporites, and we have three reservoir rocks, which is the oolitic grainstones, the red algae. So red algae in the early Miocene, oolitic grainstones it goes like from top of the early, middle, and late Miocene, and the stromatolites at the top at the late Miocene. And by the way, we have two seals in the Miocene. We have evaporites in the Middle Miocene, Ceravalian, and we have another event of evaporite, which is Mycenian. People, they know about the Mycenian, but they always forget about the Ceravalian.
Okay.
Yeah, Middle Miocene Cerebellium, there is a big evaporite section, especially in the Mediterranean. We call it selenitic gypsum, and people they get confused between both of them because mostly you have no fossils, nothing. You have to know what's above, what's below to tell the age. Otherwise, you are lost.
Right.
For the price.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So is any? I guess I mean there are no wells. I mean already drilled. I mean reaching that Miocene area. There are no wells drilled in reaching the Miocene.
For subsurface, I haven't paid any attention. That's a lost job.
Okay.
For me, yeah, because I was PhD student and I was like controlled by time and budget, and I cannot waste my time, waiting for people to sign my release paper, data release, and this stuff takes years. That will waste time.
Right, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so far they have preliminary study, very detailed study they can rely on, and the study tells us there's high potential for the carbon concentration in the Middle Miocene. We have good reservoirs already, and we have seal. So the system is there. So just all what they need to focus on that Miocene interval in the subsurface data, seismic and logging, and we wish them good luck.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it sounds really good.
Yeah.
And
by the way, Salah. Yeah, Salah. He added he went further and he got the subsurface data even from the neighboring countries, and they have really promising results, from Levantine Basin, from Egypt, the Zohra, and from Malta too. And he got a lot of subsurface data. He has connections. I don't have those connections, by the way.
Right.
He has them. Yeah.
Right. So for that reason, it's called an analog, because it's something that is already working in a different place.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
So let's see if I don't know if did you get him by
excuse me
message or something?
I have a question, please.
Oh yes, sure. Sorry, go ahead.
Hello everyone, and thank you very much, Mr. Boros, for this event. I'm Abdelmajid basically I'm from Morocco, but I'm studying in University of Perugia in Italy. So I'm also a member of the SAG student chapter of Perugia. So I have a question, please, about this Libyan oil field. Is this Libyan oil field is an extension of the Egyptian oil field, Zohar? No.
This study is an outcrop surface. It's not an oil field, but the analog in Egypt is found for the same age, the Miocene, and also found, which is, by the way, Libya is considered, the Cyrenaica is considered central Mediterranean. Egypt and Levantine, it's considered Eastern Mediterranean. And so we found the analog, subsurface analog for our outcrop study. So all what we have, outcrop study, and we went further and looked at the subsurface data for the other basins that they already had done some work on subsurface data, and we find the analog, and our data was really very much close match to what they find. So what we found, so this tells us that even from surface data, from outcrops, you can tell something about the subsurface, about the presence of high carbon content, which is stable isotope carbon, positive excursions. You can tell about the reservoir types. You can tell about the seal. So you can expect or predict your petroleum system even before going and start drilling. So you're not throwing your money. You know what you're looking for already. You have a good idea what you are hunting or what you're after.
Okay, thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome, sir.
All right. Yeah, that was a really good question. And so let's see if I don't probably, I mean, I don't know if Salah will be able to join back again, but I don't know if there is any other question.
I think there is one in the chat by Daniela.
Sorry.
Yes.
I have a question. Is there a projection of the potential of the reservoir?
Yeah, we showed on the surface, the outcrop surface, there is 3 types of reservoirs: oolitic grainstones, red algae, coralline reef, and stromatolites, which is another type of reefs. So there are 3 types, and which is early, middle, and late, and they are fractured, and they have this is a good thing. Like when you have fractures, you have like pipelines, natural pipelines, and they have like secondary porosity, dissolution porosity. So really like good chances to have reservoirs even subsurface. Yeah, yes, there are 3 types of reservoirs expected.
God, so the potential is looking good, let's say.
Yes, it's promising if we find it down dip or under, in the subsurface. Yeah, right. If they have continuity, and we prove it, there's like really long lateral continuity.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see. I mean, the correlation with the subsurface when you get rid of the seismic data, in order to see if there is any closure as well, and you have
Yes, Salah. I believe Salah. He's finishing up his master's and his next step PhD. I think he's going to do this job. Tying the subsurface data of Libya with the surface data on the Miocene time. So you might be lucky to have him there for PhD.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, if you're interested in Miocene.
That would be nice. Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see if there is any other. I don't know. In the chat panel, there is no other question. I don't know if someone else has any question or comment. If not, then I guess we can conclude. Since Salah, he's not joining, so if you have
the internet is so bad there back in Libya, so bad. The internet and electricity is so bad. It's a war zone now, so unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I know. I was telling the guy, my past life in the oil industry. I have many colleagues, from Libya, and they were telling me, all about the living condition in Libya, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So things are hopefully, we really hope everyone, that things get better, and then all get fine. I'm better. So
yes, yeah, unfortunately, yes.
So I think we can conclude here. If there is any probably further question, I guess we can or you can send it. I don't know if we have the contact information from Salah, email or something.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I will put it in chat.
Right. If you can add it in the chat panel, then if someone has any further question, then you can. Probably the best will be to send it directly to Salah, and I'm pretty sure that he will be more than happy, to answer and send you the answer back. So let's wait until we get Salah's email in the chat. All right, there it is. Is Salah.El-Ekhfifi@gmail.com. So for any further question, then you can contact Salah. And all right, thank you very much, everyone, for the patience and considering all the circumstances that we have on the connection issues. and not having Salah to conclude, let's say, the presentation. It's been really nice having, I mean, people from not only from our country, but from abroad. This is what we would like to achieve with the chapter. I mean, the students that they would like to achieve, to have the chapter to go abroad as well and be international. And again, thank you for your time and participation and questions. And we hope to see you in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you.